Welcome to Pecan Corner. Today I'm gathering up pecans. I've been picking up pecans for a couple of months now. These are my little natives. They grow off of this old tree. The last time I weighed my production from this tree, I had over 100 pounds of pecans just from this one tree. They are, as you can see, they're small. My hands are little. They're about an inch, inch and a half, maybe inch and a quarter long. I have another tree that has bigger ones, and this year they're extra large. And it's the one that's right over here beside it. You can see it from here. Let me get around. There we go. And the problem with it, and there's another one in the backyard that has large pecans also, is they have bugs in theirs. This little native pecan is not as badly bothered by the bugs, so more of the pecans are clean when you pick them up. I'm kind of focusing in here. The pecans grow, they make fruit in clusters of 4. So anytime you're gathering them, you're nearly always going to find 4 pecans right next to each other, just like that. And see there, see how those are? I didn't place those for your benefit. That's how I found them. So it's not a hard job to gather them up. Your eyes get to where eventually you can see them among the leaves. And of course the squirrels and the birds get to them first, and that's okay. There's plenty for them. Plenty for them and us too. I kind of just brush away the leaves a little bit. My mother likes to wear moccasins so that she can feel the pecans as she walks around. And any kind of a light-soled shoe, you will feel them. See how I'm gathering up 4 at a time here. So it's and see that it's a big crop this year. I'm surprised because last year was a pretty good crop too. And often they call pecans God's crop because you never know when you're going to have a big crop. And they don't always. There's that 4th one on that cluster. They don't always make. These pecans are one of the most healthy nuts that you can eat, and the wild ones are the best. Yes, I know people like to talk about the cultivated varieties, but I'm from southern Oklahoma, and we love our native pecans. They have a higher oil content. The oils in pecans are so healthy. They say eating a handful of pecans a day can regulate your blood pressure and your cholesterol. Now, I don't know anything about that, but I do believe it because I do believe they're healthy, let's put it that way. And as long as they're not shelled, not cracked, they'll keep for quite a while in the shell. Here's more. See, I haven't even moved yet, and I've gathered up lots and lots of these. So I'm kneeling right now because, see, I can't eat. There's one that's been gnawed on. I'm kneeling right now to show you all, but normally I would just bend over. There's some more. And we just kind of move along. We finish out one little spot and then move forward a little bit and find the next cluster of them. Carry my basket and so forth. When I was growing up, this was a job that a lot of kids did to make extra money, and of course everybody can earn a lot of extra money picking up and selling pecans. I don't know how much they sell for now, but I'm sure they're probably paying at least 50 cents a pound, if not more, early in the year. The later in the year you wait to sell them, the less they need them at the producer plants, and so the less they pay for them. But a lot of people still make their Christmas money picking up pecans or sending their kids out to pick up pecans. And as you can see, now this patch that I'm going over, I've already gathered from 2 or 3 times. My pecans don't fall all at the same time. They fall at different times. And so this tree, they'll start falling in early October, and here it is middle of December, and there's lots more on the ground. So you could get you one of those little rolling, rather than get one of those silly things that's got the spring that you stand up and pick them. Those don't work very good. Instead, get you a sitting cart that rolls along with big wheels, like for your garden, and use that to roll along and gather them with. Works really good. Or grandchildren. If you've got grandchildren that are young enough to still do what you ask them to, you can get them to gather them for you. See, I've got lots and lots of them that fell here together. So they're pretty easy to collect, and I don't flay mine. A lot of people do. They beat the trees, but I don't. As you could see a while ago, my trees are too tall for that, and so I just gather them as they fall, and that's okay too. You know, it gives me a little exercise, which I desperately need. And so this year, Paul's feeling good, and he's helping me shell out the bigger ones, because he cracks those with our inertia cracker one at a time, and then he'll shell those out for halves. These I will use my Dave Belt cracker on. Let me show you that. The Dave Belt cracker is a 2-person thing. At least it is for me. There it is. Dave Belt. I've got it mounted onto a table here, and as soon as I get a few more of these gathered up, I'll get Paul to come out and we'll film us cracking them so y'all can see it. The pecans go in here through the top, and they come out down here. So you set a box down there below them, and that catches them. Up here is where you can adjust for the size. You can make it wider or narrower. They say a lot of people use these for cracking acorns with. And you can crack up to the size of English walnuts. So they're really good. It's got good adjustments. I used to take my little pecans. And have them cracked and blown. But the local crackers here, they're not set small enough for my little natives. Most everybody grows these bigger pecans, so they won't crack my natives. So I used to take them up to Oklahoma and get them cracked. Well, they went up on them, and they went up to where they were charging 50 cents a pound to crack them. By the time I pay 50 cents a pound to crack them, and they shell out to about, the shelled weight's about half the weight of them while they still had the shells on, that means I'm ending up paying $1 a pound for my own pecans, and that's just insanity. So that's why I invested in the Dave Belt cracker. It pays for itself. You know, it doesn't take but a couple of years for one like that to pay for itself. They're expensive, and this time of year you're going to have to wait because they build them to order, and so you know everybody wants them during pecan season. See, there's one with a hole in it. I don't want any bugs. My bugs have improved since I started letting the red wasps run wild at my house. I no longer kill them. Started out because I discovered they are spider predators. Red wasps are actually hunt spiders, and that's why you see them patrolling the eaves of your house. They're looking for spider webs that they can catch. So I started letting them stay for that. Well, they've drastically reduced the spider population around here, which is great. And they've also, as a side benefit, reduced the population of the pecan bugs to a degree. Not as much, but it helps somewhat. They're also will hunt webworms. So if you've got a webworm problem, let your red wasps run, and they'll help reduce that as well. Of course, my solution to webworms is to immediately cut that branch off and burn it. And my granddad used to put a rag on a pole, put kerosene on it, and stick it up there in the tree and burn them that way. But that's too dangerous nowadays, so we wouldn't do that. But I do use my trimmer to clip those vines, those limbs quickly, and bring them down and then burn them. And as you can see, I've just got all I can do here to gather up pecans. They're just all over the place. So there's a really good crop this year. We will shell these out and probably sell them at the farmer's market. I doubt that I will sell them in the shell. Just depends on if I have enough time to get a whole lot collected, and it looks like we're not going to be able to crack them and shell them ourselves. Anyway, for the big ones, when you sell the halves, they are selling for $10 a pound. So this is a profitable crop if you've got the patience and the time to get out here and collect them. Not only do I come out and collect it specifically like this, we also collect every time we walk past them. You know, so every time I walk out here, I gather up a few pecans, and as I'm going to check the mail or as I'm coming in from the store, you know, fill our pockets. My dad fills all his pockets every time he walks past, and so that's, we just have to keep at it until we get them all up. And a couple of years ago, I was not able to, you know, when Paul was sick, I wasn't able to gather them. It was so sad to let them just sit there. I should have called somebody else and let somebody else have them. One of the folks that gathers them to sell. But anyway, I'll remember that in the future. A lot of people also, if you're not able to pick up your own, a lot of people will pick them up on halves for you, where they gather them up and you split them by weight. And so that's another option if you're not able to gather your own. Lots of pecans on public lands, so you don't have to have them in your own yard necessarily, although you do have to have permission, because, you know, state parks do not pick up a single pecan. You can't pick up anything at a state park. Guy went to jail for gathering morel mushrooms at a state park. A while back I saw in the news. So you can't do that there. But along the roadsides, the highway department probably would let you. All right, I just kind of wanted to see. That's what I've done. I've nearly filled my basket just in the length of time that we've been talking here, and haven't even been really focused on my job. So it's if you haven't been a nutting, now's the time. The nuts are falling, so go out and gather some for your own use, if for nothing else. All right, if you like it, I hope you'll give us a thumbs up and please subscribe.